Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Codenames Pictures is another version of Codenames. Not really sure how many we need, but this one actually does something different. So you're going to have pictures instead of words, and you're thinking it's not really that big of a change. Fair enough, it's not. The grid will change from a 5x5 to a 4x5, but the pictures do kind of trigger something different in your head, and it's a little bit more difficult. The rules change a little bit. If you see, the rulebook says if you see a platypus, you can say platypus. In the first one, you couldn't do that with the words. You couldn't say camera if it said camera. In this one, you can, but it's going to limit you quite a bit to what you're doing. So the pictures do add a different dynamic. A lot of people like this one better. I like it just as much. It's fine, and I probably like it better, although, you know, the pictures is going to compete with the Marvel and the Disney, and you're going to decide what theme do I want. Do I want just generic pictures, or do I want some kind of IP attached to it? So what are you going to like? For me, I think the pictures is fine. I've got 4 versions of Codenames. At some point, I got to knock these down. Right now, I'm going to keep all 4 because the Marvel and the Disney is so specific. I don't know. I think that we'll see kind of how that goes. But for the pictures right now, I think it has a wide variety. I think adults like it. I think it might be a little bit better than regular Codenames. I'll see how that plays out, maybe report back. But for now, I think Codenames Pictures is maybe one of the set that kind of has fallen off the radar because it doesn't have the appeal of maybe Disney and Marvel right off the bat to those that really like it. But the pictures do add quite a bit to kind of what you're thinking through in those clues. I find these games tremendously hard. I'm not very good at getting clues for this, and I'm just terrible at this game. But the pictures does add something different. Something I would recommend if you're into Codenames. I'm not really a party game player, so the games don't attract me as much, but they are super, super, super popular. And this is just as good as any of the other ones. Here's Codenames Pictures. This is going to be a different version of Codenames. You're going to get some advertisements included. Sure, why not? You're going to get these big, thick cardboards with funny pictures on them, which you'll utilize. These are very nice compared to some of the other editions of the game. You're going to get the cards that you're kind of used to. They're going to have pictures on them instead of words. If you play the other Codenames, if this is the only one that you've seen, then these have pictures on them. So you're going to have your standard little cards that you'll be using. The quality's okay. Not fantastic, but all right. And you're going to get a rule book included. It's a party game, and that's all you're going to need to play. There's a rule book for Codenames Pictures. I really love this cover. It's just really funny to me. So you're going to have a setup here, which will have a picture of your field operatives, your spy masters, how things go, and advertisement for Codemasters. And it tells you if you already know how to play Codemasters to skip to page 11. You're going to have an explanation of the keys and the agent cards and the assassin and kind of how that works. Some gameplay, how you have to make eye contact with the players not on the board, how to give clues, and ending game and how you win. And once again, how to keep a straight face when people are choosing. A couple examples, valid clues, and I've said this in my other Codename reviews, but your family, your friends, you guys can decide what clues are okay for you guys. They have some things here if you guys argue about it or want a strict rule set, but really it's going to be what you guys are having fun with. It's a party game. You're going to have advanced Codenames and assassin endings, some expert things that have been included in the other sets, rules for 2 players and 3 players if you so choose want to play in that way. And then if you played Codenames, a little bit of how to just integrate this and be able to utilize it. Pretty good rule book. It's pretty standard if you have the other Codenames. Nothing groundbreaking here. This game is fairly easy to set up, and this was a little bit different than regular Codenames. You have a 4x5 grid. You can utilize this code here, which will tell you if you're the blue team, you're trying to get this one, these 3, this one, and these 2. If you're red, you're trying to get these 2, this one, that one, and that one. And you want to avoid this one at all costs. So if you're the blue team, it shows you, you see the blue lights right here. That means you will go first, and you will have to find one more clue, so you'll get the double agent. And what you're going to do is you're going to try. So let's say these 3 right here are blue, which they are on the card. And I'm trying to get my team to pick this. I might say animal 2. And if they pick the hippo, then I would put one of my things down to show that pick the hippo. If they pick the penguin popsicle, then I would do that one also. But let's say they would have picked this snake instead, the alien snake. You would look on the chart. Oh, that's actually a red. So that would not have been a good clue because there's a lot of animals outside of the ones I wanted. If I got them to pick this one, for some reason, it was like George Bush. And they were like oil. And that is the black one. Then the assassin would go on it, and that team would immediately lose the game. If they pick one of the gray ones, like maybe this Windows thing, then you would put one of these neutral people onto the show like it's neutral, and as the game goes by. So the first player to correctly get all their squares wins. If somebody gets the assassin, then that team immediately lose the game. This can also be combined with regular code names. There is a rule book to do that. And then you can utilize that. There's a picture of that in the rule book of them being put together. I also want to point out there's a 2-player game with a scoring system and rules for a 3-player game that you can use. There's also an assassin ending where you would play the game and the assassin has to be what you find last. So after you get all of yours, then you have to get somebody to go to the assassin. Who should buy this? If you're a party fan, if you like party games and have a need for party games, you need at least one version of Codenames. The Pictures is just as good as the rest. You're going to be looking at what IP you want, Disney, Marvel. Do you want just pictures? Do you want just words? What do you like? And that's which one you're probably going to buy, or you will collect them all. But you're going to have to like those lighter party games. It's not a very deep game. Now, this is probably the deeper end of party games just because it's tough to come up with clues and stuff, and people kind of like those word puzzle type things. And I think the pictures add a lot visually. People are going to like that quite a bit. So this might even be the one, if you're only going to get one, that you want to start with. Codename Pictures, I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I'm not huge on this game as a lot of people are, but I do like it. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.